Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 SR diesel tourer. This particular car is registered, if I can read it, WR14YBP, and mileage at the start of the road test is 84,616 miles. The reason we do these road tests is basically so anyone that's coming to see us actually gets to see the car that's actually advertised in operation. It gives us an opportunity to let you know of any issues there might be that you might pick up whilst driving the vehicle. We know just how frustrating it can be for people, because we've been on the receiving end ourselves, to go and see a car only to find out it's got a fundamental problem that you'd pick up immediately as soon as you started driving it. So hence that's why we do it, and it is critical in that sense. They're also done, or the road test is also done on these very quiet country roads, very close to our premises, so should be representative of what you'd feel yourself if offered a test drive in the car. As you probably know, in the advert, the car's been, beautifully looked after by Honda throughout its life. It was serviced only a couple of months ago, a couple of thousand miles or so. And it feels like it because the car's incredibly tight and taut. It really is. It doesn't feel like the miles it's done at all. Engine starts absolutely instantly. It settles to a completely smooth and even idle. There's no fluctuations at all. And the engines themselves are fabulous units. So I'm just going to change the steering wheel position. Very quiet, very refined, very responsive as well. So don't think at 1.6 isn't man enough, because it certainly is. You can be up in a 6th gear now, 46 miles per hour straight away. So it's got to these sensors to let you know where you're going on the car, so telling me off. There's no warning lights on the dashboard at all, by the way, relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Just a low fuel light currently illuminated. Temperature gauge running at a 3rd, and the car's been running for well over an hour now, and that's its full operating temperature, and that's exactly where it should be on one of these cars. The engines themselves, they've got a reputation for reliability absolutely unmatched in their class. Timing chain driven, of course, so there's no cam belts to worry about. And their fuel economy is just amazing on them. They really do achieve it as well. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car absolutely perfect. Bite point exactly where it should be, and the actuation is smooth and positive in travel. Gearbox in the vehicle, of course, it's a 6-speed manual gearbox, and it is an absolute object lesson to other manufacturers in how to do a gear change, because it feels what it isn't. Basically, it feels like it's directly connected to a gearbox underneath, whereas in fact, of course, it's joined to the gearbox under the engine bay by cables, as most modern front-wheel drive cars are. But the quality and precision of gear change is just brilliant. It's got a lovely weightiness and mechanical feel to it as well. As I said, it really is. This is how it should be done, and I can't detect anywhere in this the suspension linkage, the gearbox linkage at all. Steering of the car just again feels absolutely tight. Track's absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations at all coming back to the steering wheel at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. But the steering's really nicely done. It's got a lovely weighting to it. Very, very accurate and precise. And it's quite quick as well, so it's not having to pile loads of lock on to do sort of relatively sort of light manoeuvres. But as I said, just matches the chassis absolutely brilliantly. Chassis, whilst I'm on the subject, what I'm looking for when I'm doing these road tests is just checking for any sort of clonks or thumps coming from underneath the car that shouldn't be there, and there's absolutely nothing at all. It's just such a lovely chassis. It's very comfortable, very, very well controlled. It gives you agility, gives you a bit of a fun factor to it, but it's got a suppleness to it which allows it to sort of ride the sort of sharper ridges without any issues at all. And if you already know, and you may or may not know, these do have these adjustable dampers for the back of the car. Currently I'm on comfort mode because on the dashboard there it's got a picture of a shock absorber and a letter C next to it. All I need to do is press a little button down here. I'm now in dynamic mode, which is this most sporty of all. Then press again, I'm in normal mode. The changes, I have to be honest, are all but imperceptible. It is definitely softer in the comfort mode, but you know, it's not hard or harsh in any of them. It just, you know, I'm sure it does make a difference, but perhaps I'm not sensitive enough to feel them. But all working exactly as it should. Brakes in the car are fantastic, by the way. No pulsing, no vibrations. They pull the car lovely and straight as well. I would give them a sharp jab now, but there's someone right up behind me. Looking around inside the car, it's not been cleaned yet, but it's very clean, if you know what I mean. It's not going to take very much at all to give this car a nice clean. The build quality of these things is quite extraordinary. I mean, we look at a car that's done 84,000 miles, and I could be driving a brand new car. It just feels, you know, it has no creaks, groans, trim rattles, buzzers, nothing at all. It just feels like a rock solid, high quality car, which is exactly what it is. Dash design itself, I've always maintained, I just think Honda have done a brilliant job in giving something that's actually visually interesting. It's not the normal binnacle there, centre stack there, and that's it. It's just, you know, variations on exactly the same theme. You know, the most conformist part, I suppose, is this centre part, you know, but even that's done really nicely. Sat nav working absolutely perfectly. You've got a dual zone climate control system, so you can have different temperatures side to side, and the air conditioning is pumping out absolutely ice cold air. Heated seats, low and high settings, working absolutely perfectly as well. But my favourite part is this lovely two-tier section. High up display for your speedo there. I can look at those cars directly in front of me, but clearly see the speed I'm driving out the corner of my eye. It's absolutely brilliant. When you're in economy mode as well, as I am now, to maximise the fuel economy, you'll see two green lights illuminated either side of the speedo. As you put your foot down and accelerate, they'll change to blue, or as you're driving more or less economically, I should say, and then they sort of gently go back to green when you're not so hard on the throttle. It's really, really good. It's not something that distracts in any way. So at the moment they're blue. If I accelerate harder and back off, you can see them they gently go to green. They don't just go from one to the other. It's very subtle and very, very effective. To the left of that, we've got the information display for your radio, various other functions can be displayed there as well, and you can configure that to suit. Down below, a more conventional pod of 3 dials, rev counter in the middle, flanked by the fuel gauge and temperature gauge, and then steering wheel, which pretty much looks and feels as new in hand. Obviously it's multifunction. You've got cruise control here, which works perfectly, radio and information display on this top left one, and then hands-free functions further down, but everything's working exactly as it should, which brings me back to the point of the video, obviously, to pick up on any issues, and there's absolutely nothing at all. It drives just beautifully, this car. It really, really does. Going to be going for a independent MOT hopefully tomorrow, so that'll be done, and it'll go through the workshops for a pre-delivery inspection as well. But you know, this is a really fabulous car that drives exactly as it should, regardless of age or mileage. Having said that, as always, if you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate. Please do give us a call.